Reactions are still pouring in over Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime appearance with that special guest she teased, her second child. Reactions include her ex, Chris Brown, and fans are not having it. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Yes, everyone's still talking Rihanna, the halftime performance. They're also comparing it. How did it weigh out to other female Super Bowl performances? We'll come back to that, as well as how they pulled it off. There's an interesting article here breaking down why the stages were what they were, along with the fact that no one knew she was pregnant even throughout the rehearsals until she sort of unzipped the jumpsuit. She'd been wearing baggy clothes all over. But right now, this morning, the reactions are pouring in, and yes, one of those reactions comes in from her ex, Chris Brown, seemingly. Again, this is they're all jumping to it, but it does seem, based on the time, it's vague, but it does seem like it is coming towards, aimed at Rihanna. And here it was. This was the Chris Brown official story, Go Girl, Heart, and Prayer Hands, coming from his story while this was during the Super Bowl period, which left everyone to assume it was him. Now, he's previously done this before. I have one other piece where he came forward and acknowledged when he congratulated Rihanna on the birth of her baby with A$AP Rocky. Fans weren't happy then either. And this was a similar congratulations, prayer hands, a heart with the baby emoji. So this is sort of Chris Brown's MO, to do these sort of vague congratulations stories. So it's something publicly. But the question is, should he be publicly saying anything to Rihanna given their history? It's something I wanted to go in and look a little bit deeper. Before we get to the celebrity reactions, I did want to sort of take a second to sort of go back and figure out, like, well, wait a second. Are they good with each other after everything? For those of you who don't know, Chris Brown was arrested, charged for ABUSC of DV of Rihanna. The picture went viral, painted her as a poster child for, I got to be careful of the words I use, but those of you hopefully are reading between the lines understand. Since then, though, Rihanna has always still supported Chris Brown. They've maintained a very close friendship since this infamous incident. And if we go through and sort of see some of the quotes, we've maintained a very close friendship since the restraining order has been dropped. We've worked on it a little by little. I was hurt the most. Nobody felt what I felt. It happened to me in front of the world. It was embarrassing. It was humiliating. It was hurtful. It's not easy. I lost my best friend. Everything I knew switched in a night. So again, she says it was a one-time incident. That is where this happened. She then declares that she was really in love and still in love with Chris Brown. Now, I can't find anything recently, except for these little messages from here on, but here is a clip from her Oprah appearance. And you can look up the full Oprah's next chapter. It's kind of awkward looking at all this, pressuring her to have to answer these questions. But I thought the last part was pretty revealing, where Rihanna does open up and expresses how much she still cares for and feels for Chris Brown, even after the incident.
If we really care about each other, we care about each other's happiness. So it's not even about us being together. I truly love him. So the main thing for me is that he is at peace.
Sorry, I have to pause just to make sure I'm giving you commentary through this. But yeah, this sometimes happens when someone does that to you and then you still are there trying to please them.
I'm not at peace if he's a little unhappy or he's still lonely, or, that's I care. Like I'm, it actually matters that he finds that peace.
So again, she's made some comments about it. She has talked about her support of him. And I hope this isn't just, she didn't go back to him again. She is now happily with A$AP Rocky, now with 2 children. And it does just seem like Rihanna is a forgiving person and wants to make sure he was getting help and seen and being there as a friend, knowing that this was a incident, I guess a one-time incident as she's declaring it. So that's the complicated relationship between Rihanna and Chris Brown. So many people obviously jumping down to defend Rihanna and get mad. He's insane. Chris Brown anyone supporting the stupidity? If the man had any shame, he wouldn't dare dedicate a single word to her on her socials after doing what he did. I mean, look, that's what I feel like. Just don't say anything publicly. If you're still friends, you want to send something privately, it's fine. But I just think it's a weird look personally. It's hard for her to have to, support him. Obviously, if she wants to, and she wants to be friends, she's going to be judged. How dare you go back to him? And then people are going to jump down her throat. And then anything he says publicly is going to also be remind everybody and just sort of reiterate like the dude, after everything you did after those images, this is not a good look. Personally, that's what I think. So what are your thoughts on Chris Brown, and should he be still speaking about Rihanna? That's the question at hand this morning. A lot of other celebrities did react. In fact, I have some. Michael Che probably had the funniest reaction. Damn, I see why they call him ASAP. It's in as soon as possible. Get Rihanna another child. That made me laugh. Here are other icons who performed the Super Bowl reacting. Shakira saying, this was beforehand, but remembering good times and wishing the best vibes for tonight's show. They did a song together, for those who don't know. And then here was Katy Perry, another Super Bowl performer, sending you all the love. You got this, Rihanna Super Bowl performance. What was another sort of amusing one was one from Zendaya, who did sort of react. For those that don't know what this is, a lot of people were hoping we were going to get a Tom Holland appearance. Here was Tom Holland on the lip sync battle singing Umbrella. I wish I could play it for you in its entirety. It is a really good clip. Go look up Tom Holland Umbrella on YouTube. And you're going to have a very good time watching. But that was the reaction. Zendaya, oh my God. Oh my God. It's a very fun episode. The two of them out trying to outdo each other. But that is a true real reaction. And it just gets better and better. He performs in the rain at the end and does a backflip. I mean, Tom Holland commits, and Zendaya was just having a blast. But yeah, I love the final flip at the end. He does a Spider-Man flip, boom, in the puddles with the fake electricity behind him. Pretty amazing. A lot of people wanted to see Zendaya and Tom Holland, but more so Tom Holland at the performance, but nobody showed up. It was just Rihanna. And again, for some, that was iconic. Again, the fact that she was pregnant was pretty impressive. The first pregnant female to perform at the Super Bowl. A lot of people then comparing her to the others. This post from, I don't even know who this group is, but I saw this was a similar ranking, obviously depending who you like more, but people putting Beyonce and Shakira and J-Lo, I got to say, I definitely think that's my favorite one of all the ladies here. That was a really good show. But yeah, I just think she could have had some guest stars. I think she could have had someone else show up, at least Jay-Z. Jay-Z was instrumental in the beginning. Would have been nice to have that moment. He was there. You did the Run This Town and Umbrella. I think the Super Bowl is just, you have a lot of time. They didn't have as much time, and even they were bringing out people and they were doing stuff. It felt like she could have had a couple quick 30-second moments with some of the all-stars she's worked with. Come on, Britney. There was talk Taylor Swift won it, but that would have been probably too much of a spotlight taker. But the tease of I have a special guest, it was her son, or I guess her baby. I don't know if it's a boy or girl. But what do you think? Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Madonna, Rihanna, Shakira and J-Lo, or Beyonce? It is mean they were paired. It is mean. What do you guys think? Who was the most iconic female performance there? I did tease it. What was interesting though is that performance, the floating stages, wasn't Rihanna's team. That was what was pitched to them by the production designers. Apparently, it was. You can thank the grass for it, and the grass was having a lot of complications for the players. They were swapping their cleats out the whole. Some think it was unfair. Anyway, the whole level of the grass and how it works is like a huge deal. And some of this AstroTurf, et cetera, and the painted grass is all problematic, and they don't want these heavy stages on the field. So production designers pitched it to her. They're like, look, we have to have smaller stages. So here's an idea. We're going to lift the stages into the sky. And once sort of Rihanna's team saw this, they were like sold. And that's how they did it. This was really built out of necessity. They realized that they could add LED screens and lights to them, and that these trussets on the stadium that they were in Arizona could hold up freight trains. So they're like, let's do this. This will be a new way to perform and practice. And apparently, it was a monumental thing to pull off. They had to set it up in 7.5 minutes and then tear it all down in 6 minutes. It's just wild. But that's why the stages are getting tinier and tinier, because they need to protect the grass in between the game, which is kind of wild to think about. But yeah, that's how it all went down. And yes, nobody knew. She was hiding this pregnancy throughout the whole production. For those who are wondering how they pulled it off, her dancers, nobody knew. She was wearing baggy clothes everywhere throughout the press conference. She has just sort of been disappearing. Now she's announced it. This was sort of a choice, obviously, to put it out there as part of it. And I do think that made it cooler that she's pregnant. She's up on these things. It was badass. She definitely seemed badass. And she has the hits. I'm not even trying to discredit Rihanna's hits, but she's not like a dancer. She did some cool stunts there, but I think having a few of her amazing collaborators showing up to have the Rihanna party would have kicked it up in an even greater notch for me. And ultimately just, that was the only underwhelming piece I had on the show. But what did you guys think? It's not my favorite one. As I've sat on it, I like her. I respect her. It was a good show, but it was not my favorite. It's not one I'm going to remember and say, oh, that was iconic. It was good. It was cool that she was pregnant, but I'm curious what your thoughts. Where would you rank it? Of all the Super Bowl performances, what do you think? And should Chris Brown be commenting at all? I want to hear your thoughts down below. Make sure you also hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for alerts, and smash that like button for more pop culture news and commentary. Leave your comments, though, on what you think, and we'll be live later today to talk about this French Amber Heard documentary. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we're in it, and I'm not happy. So stay tuned. Join us live later today.